All right, Derek, thank you. This morning we have Masters of Nursing students from Viterbo University, Katie Marcus and Emily Summers in studio with us. You guys are here to talk about the second season of your podcast, which is Truth, Courage, and Solutions, a climate and health podcast. So thank you for being here this morning, and good morning. So start off by just telling us a little bit about the podcast. I know that this season focuses on lacrosse specific issues, right? So tell us what you guys are gonna dive into.
All right. So, like she said, my name is Emily, and we made this podcast as a project for our Masters of Nursing class, and we're focusing on the lacrosse area, the lacrosse climate plan. And what really inspired us was the All We Can Save book, which is an all-female written book from people who identify as women of color and from the marginalized communities.
Okay. And so what are some of the topics that you plan to get into this season?
The first episode starts off with transportation. We interview Lewis Coleman from the city of La Crosse, and he and his team developed the La Crosse Climate Action Plan. Yeah. It's got 9 parts, and we chose each of our 4 episodes off of what we think are the most important 4 parts. So we start with transportation, then it goes on to waste, then food and agriculture, and finally ends with health and safety.
What would you say that inspired you to make the podcast, do you think?
This year our classes are on leadership, and leadership includes sustainability. We thought that this podcast really would be able to show our ideas of what sustainability means for the community, and because of our leadership classes, we felt that this was a good way of spreading the ideas.
Okay, great. And so what do you hope that listeners take away as they listen to the podcast?
We really hope that it can make a difference in how you look at the community and how you look at climate change, as it's really serious that it's changing now, and we need to act and do something now versus wait down the line when it might be irreversible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why do you think this podcast is important now?
It's important now because as our age group and age groups around us come into the workforce, we want businesses to include us as like sustainable partners, that they can see that we have an interest in climate change, and our ideas can help alter how they would present their topics. So in healthcare, we're all Masters of Nursing students. We're hoping to bring that idea of sustainability into the hospitals and into how hospitals interact with patients.
Okay, great. And so 2 episodes are available now, right?
Actually, today all 4 episodes will be available.
Okay.
So the first 3 have already been released, and the 4th one will air today at noon.
Okay, all right. I was gonna ask if you dropped them weekly, but looks like they'll all be available.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so good news there.
This is the 2nd season, so the 1st season is already out, and you can find that on YouTube as well.
All right. So how did you choose the local experts that you interviewed?
Because of the La Crosse Climate Action Plan, we looked at each step, and then we looked to see what businesses were already completing sustainable programs. Mm-hmm. And so we found that 7 Rivers Recycling is like a big one in the area, Grow is a big one in the area, and those are places that we looked first.
All right. Do you guys have any podcasting experience? I know you did last season, but prior to that, or was this kind of your first foray into it?
This is our first time doing it, and there's 19 of us. We really put in a good effort, and we have results to show it. You know, we're excited for listeners and all of it to come together.
What has been your favorite part of hosting this podcast?
Oh, that's tough. My position in this podcast has been the director, so I've learned how to coordinate a bunch of different groups. Emily was part of the media group, so learning how to coordinate her parts with the people who are hosting it and with the people who are doing the research has been a huge bonus for me.
Yeah, and then like she said, I was part of the media group, and just sharing it, getting the word out, creating flyers, and really just trying to expand to the La Crosse community, but also surrounding areas to see, you know, what we can all do.
And do you guys have a favorite episode or favorite topic you've covered, favorite interview, anything like that?
For me, they were all pretty interesting. I know, you know, your basic levels of sustainability, but really diving into it was good to know for everything.
Yeah, by far my favorite part is the 4th podcast that's coming out today with Shanda Demarest. So,
what do you guys talk about in that one?
Health and safety. So being a nursing student, like that one really stuck out to me, and I thought that was most interesting.
Yeah. You know, I just want to talk about climate change real quick. You know, as a meteorologist, that means a lot that you guys are spreading the word about climate change. What do you think is your target audience, and what are you hoping that they can accomplish after listening to climate change talk?
I think, is it too broad to say that everyone is our target audience?
Yeah. No, it's not really.
I hope that everybody can see that just starting the process of realizing that climate change is happening and doing one little step to start a sustainable practice in your home or in your life just builds up to be a bigger impact in the world.
Great. And so tell us the name of the podcast one more time so people know what to search for.
It's called Truth, Courage, and Solutions, a climate health podcast.
All right, great. And all episodes will be available this afternoon. So thank you so much for being here this morning, and keep up the good work. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.